You know, I love little pocket stoves for hiking and just being out, for a day trip. And if you've watched the channel, I've been through a few different ones, tried a lot of different models, and I'm always looking for something different to try out and see how it performs. The last stove I had was the Vargo titanium hexagon stove, and it was okay. Small fuel capacity, definitely lightweight. Liked that it folded up. It was very flat, didn't weigh hardly anything, but didn't hold a lot of stuff, a lot of sticks, and it didn't vent very well, so it was hard to keep twigs going in the thing. It just didn't work out as well. Also tried a firebox stove, their standard model, and that thing worked great, but man, was it heavy. It's a big stove, and it weighs almost 2 pounds, and I just can't, that doesn't make sense for my style of carry, especially when I'm using a haversack, because when I use my haversack, I want something lightweight. And of course, the whole point of a stove is to, give you the ability to cook quickly on the trail and leave a small footprint, not start a big fire. And also, you don't have to carry a lot of extra fuel with you, like fuel canisters or fuel tablets. So, I think a stove, a pocket stove, is always a great addition to your kit, and I'm always looking for a good one. So the one that I'm looking at today is the Bushcraft Essentials Pocket Stove. Now when you look at this thing, this is what the bag it comes with. That is a small stove. It is all stainless steel construction. And I have not tried this thing yet. And in fact, when I first got it, I was really inclined just to send it back because I set it up and it looks so tiny. But, I think it's worth a shot. I really do like how small it is, and it's under a pound. And the stainless steel construction is going to last. It's certainly not going to warp. Titanium tends to warp after a lot of use. Because it's so thin, but this stuff should not warp as badly. So we'll see. We're going to try to assemble this thing, get it going, and then I'll give you my thoughts on it. So stick around. Alright, so here it is all assembled. As you can see, that's like 3.5 inches, maybe 4 inches at the most, probably 3.5 area to work with in there. So definitely small, but a few of the features, you have your feed port up here, which is a little strange having it that high up. I would think the feed port would be lower so the sticks can lay in a little bit easier. And then you have this ash pan or ash catcher down here, and then of course the base that the fire sets in, that the sticks are going to set in, is ventilated. It comes with these 2 pot supports, and there's 2 positions. There's that position, which is a low position, or a high position, excuse me. That's high. Let's see if I get this right. That's the high position, so the cup will set above and allow ventilation underneath, or you can flip it and go to a low position, and now the cup is covering more of the top, if that makes sense. Of course, you have ventilation holes all around the sides up here, and then the logo is a ventilation hole as well. So first thing I really notice about this is that there's, in my opinion, there seems to be a flaw with this design. And the flaw is I don't need an ash pan for this size of stove. I could probably do without that, and the feed port's too high. So to solve that issue, I think what I'm going to do is we're going to take this apart. And we're going to do a little Jenga with it. I'm going to get rid of this. I don't need that. And I'm going to move the plate, the ventilated plate, to the lower position. So that gives me more room, more capacity. I'm going to put the front plate back on. And now I have a feed port at the bottom and the top. I'm going to put these back on to the high position so there's ventilation underneath the cup. And right there, I've lightened the stove and I've added a little bit more capacity, and I'm able to feed from the bottom, which I think is a plus. What I would do is, the only thing I would add to this is I would get a piece of aluminum foil, put that on the bottom when I'm cooking on the ground. That way you don't have to worry about igniting anything. Now, the ground around here is really wet. Leaves are wet, but I'm going to clear a spot and then we're going to get this thing fired up. And one thing with these little folding firebox type stoves, it's always a good idea to have some kind of prepared tinder to go with it, just to get things started. So like Vaseline cotton balls or wet tinder or whatever your preferred method is. Today I'm going to try this. This is a zombie tinder, fast fire tin. I got this from Lost Wild Outdoors. They sent it to me and I'm going to check it out. I thought it was kind of a fun little product just to test today and see how it goes. It comes with these 3 kind of pre-made little tinder balls, kind of look like eyeballs, kind of gross actually. But you light these and then set them inside the stove, and then I can put the sticks over it. So that's, can try that. And then also it comes with this cotton material that's been soaked in some kind of petroleum product. You can definitely smell it. So that can be fluffed up and hit with a spark pretty easily, and that should burn a while and give a chance to get those sticks started. So I think what we'll do is we'll first try this stuff and see how this works. Get a good amount of it going here. And I should be able to spark this with a ferro rod or my one of my sparking tools. Got my Outdoor Element fire beaner. It starts off pretty quick. Got a nice bed of coals going. I can add to it now. Go ahead and start feeding in some sticks. We'll get the water on, get some coffee going. So I'm not minding that top feed port. Actually, it's working out pretty well because I'm able to angle those sticks down. So now it makes more sense. And I think definitely lowering that plate helps in giving me room to be able to do that. Now, if the sticks are too long, they tend to fall out, but it's not a big deal because you can just push them back in, and I think that's where having foil on the ground is going to probably be more helpful than that ash pan. The ash pan just doesn't make a lot of sense. You know, having foil on the ground is going to be able to catch a lot more because there's always, with these little stoves, stuff always falls out the sides and the bottom, and it's just good to have something underneath it. I don't have anything with me today, but that's definitely going to go in my kit with this. But it's feeding really well. It seems to be burning nicely and getting plenty of oxygen to do its job. We've got a boil. So overall, I'm really pleased with it. I think it did a great job with the modification that I did to it. So there's what's left. You can see some of the stuff fell out. About the quickest way you can get these things to cool down is basically just to dump them out if you don't want to wait for them to burn down. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you are interested in this stove, it's going to be in a link in my Amazon store. So you can check it out there. And of course, in that Amazon store, I have a lot of other products that I use and I feature in my videos. And as always, please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you next time on The Prepared Wanderer. Cheers.